So we all need love. Without love, life gets very dark, and it's easy to become bitter and resentful and angry and hateful, and altogether just follow a very dark path. But love comes in many forms, and not all love is equal. And in this video, I want to talk about one of the most important types of love, and perhaps one of the most useful types of love. Now, part of love is to have the ability to do the right thing, make the right choices, even when those choices seem difficult or hard to do. Because true love is not only this warm, fuzzy, deep substance. It's not only the fluffy, soft, good stuff. Because if you really love someone, then you want what's best for them, even if the process of getting there is unpleasant or difficult. Sometimes you need to do something unpleasant or difficult or hard in the current moment, so that in the future, either yourself or someone else can benefit from that short-term struggle. And this is true whether you're trying to love and take care of yourself or someone else. It doesn't really matter. The process is the same. And this naturally brings us to tough love. Now, in this video, we're going to focus on tough love when it comes to yourself, and using tough love as a tool for yourself to get yourself back on track. Now, while tough love isn't the only type of love we need, it's not sufficient on its own. It's an incredibly important tool when it comes to wanting the best for yourself. Tough love is very difficult to give because in the short term, it brings you some pain, discomfort. It's hard. Sometimes tough love can feel like you're not being loved in the current moment, but that's only if you're concerned with short-term feelings and short-term results. And we human beings don't only live in the short term. That's why we're so successful as a species, because we can look into the future farther than any other animal can. Now, the reason I bring this topic up from the perspective of what's best for an artist, what's best for a musician, as a creative type, it's even more important for yourself to be in control of your self-management skills. And you can't be successful in the future if you're unwilling to sacrifice anything in the present. And tough love is a tool for you to utilize so you can guide yourself forward into the future in the most efficient and successful manner. And this is an extremely important topic for me because most of the growth, most of the success that I've seen in the last few years has been a direct result of some intensive, tough love. If you wish to be successful in whatever endeavor you're pursuing, you need to be connected to the truth. The more you can face the truth, the more you can understand the truth, the more tools you have to do something about it. And naturally, the more you can do, the greater your chances of success are going to be. And that's what tough love aims to do, to get you connected to the truth. And the people I follow, the people I've learned the most from, all of those people have tried to give me the unconditional truth and nothing else. And while that process was extremely uncomfortable, it's what I needed. I knew that they were onto something. There was some truth hidden in what they talked about. And while it was painful and uncomfortable, I slowly started to realize these are actually the people who want the best for me. These are actually the people who try and love unconditionally. One thing for me that sets the person apart from the others is their willingness to want what's best for you in the future, not in the current moment. Not the people who tell you the things you want to hear, not the people who twist and bend the truth, even when they have good intentions, because ultimately none of that serves you in getting closer to who you wish to become. Make no mistake, if you want to grow, you have to get uncomfortable. You can't grow from a position of complete satisfaction. If everyone around you tells you precisely what you want to hear, everyone acknowledges and affirms your opinions and thoughts and actions, and there's no push from anywhere, then it means that you've reached a point of stagnation. And if you think you have everything right, then what's the reason of growth if it serves no function? So how do you know that you're tough loving yourself enough? Well, the first step is discomfort. Seek out that challenge. Seek out those difficulties, hardships, that discomfort. If you find yourself in a place where you're learning and you're doing a lot of work and you are progressing, if that is accompanied by some level of discomfort, then there's a pretty high likelihood that with all of the progress you're making and with the discomfort you're feeling, you're kind of breaking out of your shell. It's usually a sign that you are transforming into something new, into something different. So you need to figure out a way of incorporating what you're learning into a new version of yourself. And usually what that means is that a part of you needs to die, and a new part of you can be reborn as a result of that. And this is what tough love gives you. It puts you in that process, but you have to be the one who accepts it. And it's no easy task. It's not comfortable to face it. It's not comfortable to acknowledge it. And it's not comfortable to accept it. But if you can recognize that what's best for you in the future, that could be decided in the here and now. If you can realize that, then you understand that there's no bigger lovable sacrifice that you can make for yourself than to give yourself some tough love. Because loving yourself in the here and now, in the short term, is easy. It's easy to say that, yeah, I deserve this piece of cake or that pizza or a day off playing video games. Whatever it is that you want to gratify yourself with and reward yourself with, it's always easy to utilize the perspective of the here and now, life is too short, all of that stuff, and say, yeah, I can do that. I deserve this. I need to take a break. And I'm not saying that's not needed. Sometimes it is. And of course, the opposite negative end for someone who utilizes a lot of tough love on themselves is the inability to give yourself something in the short term and celebrate and be happy about the present. You need a combination of both things. But when we're talking about sculpting your career, when it comes to those long-term big dreams and goals, you have to spend a lot of your time in the simulation of the future. It's very difficult to build towards future scenarios if you're unwilling to ever sacrifice the current present moment. So So seek out people who are willing and capable of giving you the truth. Because most people won't. It's too difficult, it's too challenging, too demanding. And most importantly, most people don't give it to you because they're afraid that you're going to like them less as a result of it. And to be fair, they're not wrong often, because the capacity to face the truth, face honesty, is quite difficult to wield and seems to be rather rare. So it's no wonder that a lot of people don't want to give you the truth, because they want friends, they want to be liked and accepted. And it can be pretty difficult to be those things if you are telling harsh truths about your friends, harsh truths that they're not ready to hear. So you must seek out people who are not willing to sacrifice the principle of honesty and truth just because they want you to like them. And if you do execute under the principle of honesty and truth, you're going to realize that a lot of people don't want to be around you. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to listen to you. But what you're also going to realize is that you're going to garner a lot more respect than you had before. And oftentimes in life, you need to choose between being respected and being liked, because for those to coexist, it's actually quite difficult to balance out. It's not impossible, but the people who are going to both like you as who you are, as well as respect what you're doing in life, the chances of those parameters kind of meeting and aligning is pretty slim. It's pretty rare. So if you find the people who are willing to tell you the truth, be honest with you, those people are more valuable to you than any precious metal could ever be, because those are the individuals who are going to align you properly with reality, and therefore they are realigning you appropriately with your own trajectory. So my invitation to you in this episode is to seek out people who are willing to tell you the truth, people who are willing to give you some tough love because they want what's truly best for you in the long term, instead of giving you some short-term bullshit that's gonna make you all fluffy and warm in the here and now, but not only does not serve you in the pursuit of those long-term goals, but it's even taking you backwards, regressing the progress you've made already. You don't want people who try and keep you where you are, and you don't want people who want you to go backwards. Sometimes that's by accident, sometimes that's intentional, but it doesn't really matter. You want to cut that out of your life. And of course, that doesn't mean that we can't say nice things to one another. Quite the opposite. I think we always should be. But even that is something that comes through truthfulness and courage. You know, oftentimes it can be quite challenging to say nice things to others, because in our culture, we've been so distanced from that kind of openness. And well, I think that's a different topic for a different episode, but I'm not saying we shouldn't say nice things or, you know, be nice to one another in the short term. But I don't think we should be those things at the expense of a better future. So seek out those people. I don't care where you do it. I'd say do it in as many places as possible. Definitely find some online mentors. There's so much great content, so many people making great videos. Seek them out in your personal life. Real life connections are still extremely, extremely important. Can't be substituted with an online presence, although I don't think online exposure is worse than real life. I think there are many perks to that, as I've discussed before. Primarily that you can really soak yourself in what they say without bringing your current self into that social situation. And I think bringing yourself to that social situation is the fastest way to grow. But if you have anxiety, if you have some issues with expressing yourself socially, then an online mentor can be great. So, there are different kind of tools for different times, for different people. You want to have a diverse toolkit. Get online exposure, get real life connections, get it all. Seek those people out. I don't care where it is, just do it. And secondarily, don't let go of those people. They're the ones who are going to tell you where you truly are right now. And you need that if you are to map out where you are and where you want to go and figure out the true trajectory that you're supposed to be on right now. Finished.